Welcome back. Now to news out of our nation's capital. The U.S. Supreme Court is coming off hearing a unique adoption case that could have far-reaching implications for tribes and other sovereignty.
Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp was inside the Supreme Court during arguments this morning, and she reports now from Washington.
This case focuses on an adoption case of a Native child with a non-Native family, but it's not quite as straightforward as that. Some are worried that this could have an impact on centuries-old legal status of tribal sovereignty. Now, here's a little bit of background on this case. The Indian Child Welfare Act, known as ICWA, was put into law by Congress to respond to concerns that Native children were being unnecessarily separated from their families and sent to boarding schools or placed in non-Native families. In this case, the Supreme Court heard a 4-year-old child, only known to the court as YRJ, is the focus of this case. YRJ is of Native ancestry, but the Brackines, who are a non-Native family, are fighting with the Navajo Nation to adopt her. Now, in the arguments today, lawyers for the Brackines argue that ICWA is unconstitutional because the law discriminates against Native children as well as non-Native families who want to adopt them because the law factors in race to determine where the child should be placed. But lawyers for the tribes told the justices that tribes are political entities, not racial groups. Now, some are worried that if justice ruled that tribal citizenship is based on race, ICWA could be struck down for violating equal protection rights of Native children and non-Native adoptive families. Protesters outside of the courthouse who are in favor of keeping ICWA are worried this ruling could do more than determine the fate of this 4-year-old and other Native children in foster care.
They're actually potentially very damaging to 200 years of legal precedent, a direct attack on tribal sovereignty.
The lawyers for the Brackines argued in court that this case won't impact other aspects of tribal sovereignty, but justices fired off hypotheticals and questions about how their challenge could overlap other areas like tribal health. We expect the court to release their ruling on this case about summer of 2023. At the Supreme Court, Rachel Knapp reporting.